Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to be unpacking a seriously provocative, kind of fascinating philosophical framework today. It's all about what our source material calls the pipeline of human suffering. We're looking at some pretty bold claims that completely redefine how we think about religion, modern medicine, and, yeah, even the impending AI era. So let's unpack these concepts together and figure out exactly how this philosophy views the sequence of our struggles and where humanity is supposedly meant to end up. So here's our roadmap for today. We're starting with the root of hardship, then moving on to religion as the first hospital and medicine as the second. After that, we'll look at doctors as mere mechanics, touch on the AI revolution, and finally wrap up with true spiritual researchers. Section 1. The root of hardship. Where our struggles actually begin. Now, what's really interesting here is how the source completely redefines the word patient. In this framework, it's not someone with a broken leg or a bad cough. A patient is someone whose life is just blocked, someone facing severe mental, emotional, or financial hardship. The source makes a really profound claim. If your life is incredibly difficult, it means you're living incorrectly. Nature, according to this view, doesn't make a well-lived life difficult. They even tie this back to our ancestral roots, bringing up Arirang as this historical cry connecting humans to the divine when we're desperately seeking answers. So the idea is, long before physical illness ever strikes, there is first this deep spiritual and life struggle. Section 2. Religion acting as the first hospital. The source views religious institutions, your churches, your temples, as essentially first-tier hospitals. Now, ideally, these places were meant to be massive research institutes studying the root causes of our suffering. But the speaker argues that the current reality, it completely fails this purpose. Instead of deep research, they're just offering a temporary band-aid of comfort. They tell folks to just pray, say amen, and rely on a higher power. And the speaker argues this actually just wastes valuable time without ever solving that underlying spiritual ignorance. Let's move on and see how this builds, because this pipeline actually becomes physically dangerous. If that first-tier hospital of religion fails to help you understand your hardship, your frustration just builds up. And the source argues that this prolonged, unresolved frustration literally impacts your biology. Your stress causes irregular cellular division. That leads to a massive drop in your spiritual energy and your sense of judgment. And the ultimate result? Well, because your spiritual defense is down, the source claims this directly manifests into physical sickness or even makes you prone to sudden accidents. You've officially transitioned from a life patient to a physically sick person. Section 3. Medicine, the second hospital. Think about what a PhD actually means for a second. Our source makes a really fascinating claim here. It's not just a trophy for being smart. It's actually a specific license granted by society to continuously research the root of human ailments, to push boundaries and evolve human understanding. Keep that specific definition in the back of your mind. With that definition in hand, the modern medical hospital is framed by the source as the second-tier hospital. It's supposed to be the ultimate research facility for those whose unresolved spiritual frustrations have finally, physically broken their bodies. The PhDs and doctors working there are supposedly tasked with researching the ultimate foundational root of why these physical breakdowns keep happening to us in such massive numbers. Section 4. Doctors as mere mechanics. And this is a pretty blunt critique. And this brilliantly illustrates the speaker's provocative claim. Modern doctors have entirely abandoned true root cause research. Instead, they've become nothing more than biological mechanics, or, repairmen. If you come in with a bad liver, they treat that liver exactly the same way an auto mechanic treats a busted radiator in your car. Let's break down this critique from the source a bit more. Doctors who were licensed to do deep research are now focused purely on physical repairs. They're treating human organs like interchangeable car parts. And just like a car garage has a transmission guy and a brake guy, modern medicine has become hyper-segmented. You've got the liver mechanic, the heart mechanic, the bone mechanic. Next thing you know, you're sitting in a lobby just waiting to get your biological oil changed. By treating patients like broken machines, the source argues the medical field has completely stripped away the spiritual root cause research they were originally licensed by society to perform. Section 5. The AI revolution and the rise of the machines. So think about this for a second. If a doctor is really just a highly trained mechanic executing physical repairs and running down diagnostic checklists, what exactly happens when we build a machine that is infinitely better at reading checklists and executing physical repairs? The source walks us through a very logical historical progression to answer that. Think about it. In the past, washing machines replaced manual laundry labor. Robot vacuums took over cleaning. Automated rice cookers replaced cooking labor. In literally every instance, machines replaced manual tasks. Therefore, the argument goes, AI and robotics will inevitably and entirely replace medical diagnostics and surgery. Why? Because a robot is simply a better mechanic. It operates with zero error, it works 24/7 without needing sleep, and it never gets fatigued. If doctors act like machines, well, real machines are going to replace them. So, the crucial point here is, what does this mean for you? According to the source, the future of healthcare is going to be highly decentralized. AI-driven technology will sit right in your living room, seamlessly handling 70% of all medical diagnoses and basic care right at home. Only the remaining 30%, the most specialized, intensive procedures, will actually require a visit to a facility. The days of waiting in a clinic just to have a human mechanic check your oil, so to speak, are rapidly ending. And the source emphasizes a terrifyingly fast pace for this shift. While we might look back and see 100 years of gradual medical progress in the past, the impending AI revolution is going to compress that exact same scale of monumental change into just the next 7 years. The era of human beings performing simple labor and mechanical repairs is closing at lightning speed. Section 6. True Spiritual Researchers and Humanity's True Role. This brings us to a massive question. If we're no longer needed to scrub clothes, vacuum floors, or even perform surgical repairs on our own biology, what are we supposed to do? What is left for a human being to do if the machines are handling all the labor? The speaker's view is actually that this technological takeover isn't a tragedy at all. It's an invitation. Our freedom from manual and mechanical labor is exactly what allows us to do the work we were always meant to do. Humanity has to evolve beyond being simple mechanics and become true spiritual researchers. We're meant to study why people suffer, why society struggles, and how to answer life's fundamental questions so we can actually guide society forward rather than just endlessly repairing the damage. This completely redefines our understanding of enlightenment. The source states that true Buddhas, or enlightened beings, are not just religious idols from the past meant to be worshipped. Instead, they're framed here as the future thought leaders, the spiritual researchers, the highly educated minds of today who must step up to bring actual light and answers to a struggling world. So, as we stare down the barrel of the AI era, are you preparing your mind to become a spiritual researcher of the future? Or are you just trying to compete with machines for a repair job you will inevitably lose? Really think about that. Thanks for exploring this explainer with us today.